what I love is I hear your story, and it's a progression of little things that you've learned over 17 years. I'm just throwing out that number, right? Or longer. And it wasn't like you didn't start off waking up at 4:00.
No.
And going to the gym at 5 and adding in a 4:30 mindset motivational thing. And then, having that time to be clear and be quiet, and then getting your emails taken care of. Like, that's all just been, but I guess what I like about this is that there's no perfection. It's just starting.
Yeah.
You're just taking steps. The other thing that I love is you're really good at connecting. Like, it's not I heard the give. We hear that a lot. I think your approach to people is the give and the connection and the smile. And those three things do really, really well for you. You also, like, not that anybody can see this if you're listening, but we got these cool towels from Cesar. If I can get this the right way.
Upside down. There you go.
There we go. The right way, right? Because you do a little bit of guerrilla marketing. Tell us
Roof real estate.
Yeah, tell us about this guerrilla marketing that you do, because I love how you just in community, because you find community, you insert yourself, and you become a part.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, because it's really hard to just walk up to someone and be like, "Here you go.
Here's a towel. Take a towel."
Well, the towel is not like a huge issue, right? People will take a gift. The thing is, it's like, buy something from me.
Yeah.
It's really hard because it's like, first of all, real estate is probably the biggest purchase of your life. People don't know if they can trust you because they don't know how long you've been doing it or what you actually do know about real estate. So setting up a community, it helps because it's like you plant yourself with people that are like-minded, but they might not be real estate minded, right? But they like waking up early with you. For example, Everett's a good friend of mine. Him and Brandy and Jose are like my accountability partners, because if I miss one too many days of 5 a.m., they call me and they're like, "Hey, what's wrong?"
Got it.
Right. So they hold me accountable to show up every 5 a.m. And it's like when I wake up at 4 a.m. and say, "Yeah, you know what, I can hit the snooze." I'm like, you know what? These guys are counting on me to keep each other going for this day. So now we know that it's like our days, no matter what, are intertwined.
Yes.
Yeah. So we now take that aspect, and then it's like you talk to them about real estate, and it's like, maybe they don't all buy with you. But then when someone says, "Hey, I was thinking of buying a home," they automatically, it's like, "Hey, talk to Cesar. He's
Fantastic.
He's real easy, chill. All those towels you wipe with yourself with at the gym, those come from him." So they give you the credibility without you having to force it on people. And then they as you help them, they help you. So your circle of influence kind of just gets a little bit bigger. So yeah, I go from inside. And then my guerrilla marketing started off as a kid. I really didn't have a lot of money to market. The one person that had faith in me to get my real estate license and drop out of college was my mom. And she said, "Hey, you know what? College isn't for everyone." And I said, "Okay." So I went off, and then I started as low as, it's like I used to sit in front of her door outside, because like she had a small business, and next to her business was a little food stand, and I had a table, and everybody that came to buy food or came to my mom's store got a business card, or we had a small little chat or just small conversation, and we just built it from there.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So as you were a young kid,
this was me at 19, like at the beginning of my real estate license.
Business cards, talking to everybody that came by.
Everybody that came by. And in the beginning, it hurt because it's like, "Why don't you buy a house?" "Oh, blah, blah, blah. I have a cousin. Everybody knows a realtor, right?" Mm-hmm. And then you're like, "Man, I'm never going to make any money this way." But being that my mom was business oriented, she said, "Don't worry. Not everybody's going to need what you offer.
Right now, too.
Exactly. Right now. Just keep at it." Luckily, I closed my first deal within 30 days. But I don't know how many people I pushed my business card on and talked to that it happened, right? And then I used to make flyers. So like I would just make the flyer, cut them into 4. It was just like, hey, do you need help selling your home? And I would walk down and up the neighborhoods in Spring Branch, leaving my flyer. And I'm talking about Texas is hot, y'all. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
there's
Even when you're
Winter-
19 or
winter's
20,
very short.
it's hot.
I mean, today the weather has been from 80 to 66, right?
Yeah.
It's gone from hot to cold in a matter of hours. And I used to walk up and down near my neighborhood, starting March, April, May, June, garage sales, everything, just to get to know the neighbors. And that's the guerrilla marketing. It's like you don't have a big budget, but you got a business card and you can leave it there. As I got more money, I got a little bit smarter, and that's where the towels came into play. Because during COVID, everybody would go to the CrossFit gym, and there are usually these boxes with no AC. There's no AC, so as soon as you start working out, or you just stand there, you start sweating. It's May, it's 100 and whatever in Houston, so they used to hand out towels, but during COVID, everybody's being safe. So now I'm handing everybody my towel. The gym holds competitions. I'm handing out my towel. I'm handing out wrist straps, and no one's the wiser that I'm handing out these things. And then when they ask, it's like, hey, why are you giving these? Oh, they're real estate gifts from my company. And they're like,
Incredible.
oh, thank you. So now they're holding a blue roof towel. They have a blue roof headband. They have a blue roof pen. So when they look at anything blue roof real estate, Cesar Martinez realtor, they not questioning it. They know because they've, unintentionally or subconsciously
Yeah.
have picked up my material, and now they carry it with them on a
Wow.
daily. Yeah. So that's my guerrilla marketing, because I don't have the money to like spend on ads. I've learned that even though you spend all this money on Google everything, the return is not as good as person to person.
So true.
Yeah. So
Handing somebody a towel.
yeah. $250 for 100 towels, and you have your thing.
And here's the thing. They won't get rid of it.
Exactly.
They'll keep it. So it has shelf life for a very long. In fact, they'll probably wash it and use it again.
Yeah.
So it just has this continuous shelf life for you, right?
Yeah.
Which is way better than Google click ads,
Yeah.
Zillow marketing, anything else, because this is connection with people and relationship.
Because you like to do what they like to do. They like to wake up early,
Yeah.
work out, and be ready to go do what they think is a tough day. But there's probably nothing harder than doing an extreme workout and then going off to work.
Right.
You've already done the hardest thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Wow.
Do you have other, outside of like your gym, are there other places where you find community, or have you really kind of carved that piece out and said, okay, these are my people?
So, you have all types of communities, right? It's really hard to call which one is the one, because it's like you have your friends who you hang out with and just talk with, right? You have your friends you work out with. You have your friends that you get together for a glass of wine, others that you speak investments. There's a lot of them, right? So it's really hard because not everybody has the same mentality as you, but you also want these other friends.
Yeah.
So sometimes how do I put it? It's like you have to understand what that circle is feeding that day, right? So it's like, I love hanging out with my friend that we play video games. So that feeds my circle of video games. We don't do it a lot, but it feeds that little need, right? I have my circle of friends that all we talk is building. And because it's my favorite thing, it feeds that soul. The same thing with the working out. So they don't all pay off, but they all give you some kind of good energy, and they teach you. So when you're talking to someone in your other groups and they say, hey, do you know someone that knows this or understands this? You're like, oh yeah. And they might be in your other circle. So they all give you something. You just have to understand that not all of them are going to give you business. And if you can separate that, you go from colleague to colleague, circle to circle, having friends everywhere, but not being so like almost like forcing people to be indebted to you to give you business, because then people don't like that. They get defensive. But if you're both amicable, you both like to go running and you give each other business, then you're like, man, I can hang out with these guys all day. We're going to go run 10 miles and then we're going to have some food and then we're going to talk business. And, so,
right.
Yeah. So
insightful.
Yeah. It's just all communities work. Some communities take you to better levels. My CrossFit community, they're all local. So they all know each other. And I wanted to build in one of their neighborhoods. So they showed me the ins and outs of the neighborhood, which maybe doesn't add value as a real estate. Like I'm going to sell their homes, but it does add the value of when I build homes in their neighborhood. It's like, I know key points of why the neighborhood's great. So just everything is a great opportunity.